Okay, now we get our T screwed on the top. And I would just tighten this down as tight as you can get it, so there's no chance of this thing ever coming loose. Now we need your bolt and your spring now. I forgot one of the basic principles. We need us an L bracket that I showed you earlier, and then we need another bracket that's on top of it that's screwed to this L bracket, because this L bracket here is the one that does the rotating it up and down. So, and any kind of an L bracket would do. The little bit wider is better, but it just whatever works. If you have to try two or three different kinds, that's fine. But we need a 1/4 inch hole through the center, but far enough to where it's above your T, to where it'll rotate without being affected by anything. Okay, we get our bolt, slide it through, slide our bolt all the way through to the other side. Oh boy, sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're not. It's hard to line the hole up sometimes. Okay, now you need your springs. And of course, I had a small spring first, and then a larger spring that went over that. There we go. Well, I got the nut on there. I'll have to have some help to get the washer on there, but at least the nut's on there. Okay. You'll have to tighten. Now you'll have to hold this this bolt head and spin this nut to however tight you need it. Like I say, you may have to use a couple of different springs to get the right tension. And now this is not going to work smoothly like a regular tripod, because that's got a lot more, that's got some different animals in it to make them work better and differently and smoother. This was just to where you just set it up, put your camera on there, and that's it. You know, like move it around, point it up or down. You can use your phone, you can use anything. You can mount whatever you want to. So you could even find a way to mount your phone on here. Slide your phone down on there and move it around. Or you can run it up this way like we did earlier. Put the bolt through there. Put the bolt through there so you can mount your camera or whatever the case may be. With your wing nut, whatever. But this is one of those weekend projects that I think that you would have some fun time with Dad or Mom building something like this, because this is not an easy build. It is a little difficult, but it will give you some ideas on drilling techniques, bolts, friction, things that you can use around the house, you know, recycle everything I've got on here other than this. Everything with this eye bolt, I always have, you know, nuts and bolts and everything laying around. I have I had to purchase this L bracket. This top part I already had. The T's I already had. All in all, I probably spent less than $7 on everything. Piece of conduit I had laying it around. You know, you can find some hardware stores that'll just sell you to, you know, have whatever footage you want. They're the helpful place. Okay, you can see how tall I am with this one. Loosen it up. take out the part, wander around wherever you want to, come back, pick it back in there, tighten it down. So I wish you luck on this project. Hope you have some good work time. Okay, the main things you probably need, pretty much a must need, is you need a vise. You can find these vices, you know, you can look around, you can find them used ones or whatever for almost nothing. A lot of people, sometimes they don't want to use them anymore, they're just glad to get rid of them. Nice thing about this one, it's got an anvil on top of it, so in case I have to have some solid workspace to beat some kind of metal thing, that's fine. But this would cost me, if I remember, around 30 bucks. Then you'll need a drill. You'll need an assortment of nuts and bolts. You can start your own little collection. You don't need a big space to start collecting nuts and bolts. I found that these glass jars do real well because you can actually see in the jar to see what you have. There's all my springs. You know, and a lot of this stuff you can find at garage sales and whatnot. So you don't necessarily have to buy them. You can just hit garage sales and probably find everything you need for probably less than what I paid for it. And then of course you'll need a set of drill bits. You know, I get everything from the smallest one up to 1/2 inch. That's as big as your drill will take anyway. Usually they're 1/2 inch. But you do need to be very careful because if you're drilling something with a 1/2 inch bit and it catches, it's going to twist your arm, so you need to have the torque. These things have torque adjustments, and if I'm not sure about what I'm drilling through, I always start with a low one, so when you pull the trigger you'll hear it making that grinding noise, which is good. But that's another point. Anyway, so those are the things that you really need, and plus I would get just an inexpensive hacksaw, and you want 3 different blades. This one's got a 32 tooth on it. That's the most commonly used one I use because cutting through steel, you want as many teeth as you can get. The 24 and the 18 are just, they grab too much. You end up breaking more blades over a period of let's just say a few months. 32 tooth will last you for, you know, for several months easy because you don't have to worry about knocking a tooth off.